Hey everyone. We are going to be talking about craft. And craft is one of those things, the debate between what is art and what is craft is something that has been ongoing in the art world. This is an old discussion, an old debate. I want to sort of look at the roots of what is commonly identified as being the realm of craft and the realm of fine art. And we'll get to talking about some of those implications in a minute too. Craft, the object produced is generally produced using instructions. A good way to think about it is craft can be pretty easily taught to others. Think of like how to throw a pot, how to make a quilt. These are all craft processes. Craft serves a practical purpose. There's a finer distinction in that there might be more than one purpose. There's such a thing as beautiful craft or very skilled craft, but at its heart, the word craft is used to designate something that is practical. Craft is often made in multiples. So again, the example of the thrown pottery is a good one here. And common media, sometimes referred to as craft media, includes things like ceramics, glass, fibers, which is another name for textile arts, metal and wood. A lot of natural material, if you'll notice that material from the natural world. Historically considered inferior to fine art, particularly prior to the modernist era, about 1870. I'm going to talk a little bit more about craft's relationship to art in the postmodern era in a second. All right, fine art. Um, it's made to be looked at. Well, I can't move my face. Ah. It's made to be looked at, sometimes called useless. And we'll see who said this in a minute. But it's one of those designations that, yeah, it's really not a useful thing. You can't eat your dinner off of a painting. Well, you could, but might not be the best investment. Concept is present, the work is saying something. And this is particularly true in the postmodern era when we start to see the rise of conceptual art. Here, let me move my face down to the bottom here so you can see a little bit better. Fine art, we're talking about originals, one-of-a-kind works. Common media, painting, sculpture, drawing. And then postmodern artists, so post 1970 to the present, they're really working to break down divisions between craft and fine art. And I feel like I can speak to this with some authority because I consider myself to be a postmodern artist who has a vested interest in craft in my own art practice. So the idea is paramount, the concept is paramount. And I feel like that's a common thread between many postmodern artists. The idea is there. It's craft media that I use to execute my ideas. And just by the nature of a lot of this media, there's long traditions tied to the crafting, the production of this media. And my particular field of education is from the fiber arts. So a lot of textiles being used in more of a conceptual manner than historically speaking, craft has really done. Okay, there is more subtleties to it than that, and not everybody's of the same opinion as I am. Some people still think that craft is inferior to fine art, but that's becoming a bit of an old-fashioned way of thinking about the relationship between the two. This YouTube link at the bottom, don't panic, I'll have that posted as a separate video, and it's from a TED Talk where a presenter really breaks down well the history of where these ideas come from. It's based in the guild system and how the Renaissance emphasis on humanism really saw the rise of the idea of fine art versus craft and how non-Western works fit into this whole scheme as well. And then as promised, we've got Oscar Wilde. He's the one that said all art is quite useless, which we had mentioned when we were talking about the definition of what fine art is. Okay, hope you enjoyed this short discussion on the difference between art and craft. And let me know if you have any questions.